You're watching Soccer Night in Detroit.
Is there any time remaining? No! It's over! Detroit City! Lightning strikes twice! The A1 upset for the second time in 3 years! And they knock out the Shield winner on the opening night of the playoffs!
Welcome to the semifinal round of the 2025 USL playoffs, as tonight Detroit City FC takes on the Pittsburgh Riverhounds at Highmark Stadium. And we never thought we would get here.
Me either. Everybody was writing our eulogy for this season, thinking we were going to get killed by Louisville City last week, but holy cow, a major upset.
Major upset indeed. The biggest upset in the history of the USL Championship playoffs, as Detroit City, thanks to a goal by Devin Amu-Mensah, goes ahead to the second round, or goes ahead to the semifinal of the Eastern Conference. Pittsburgh, by the way, they had their way into the semifinal round by defeating Hartford Athletic in penalty kicks after a 0-0 draw at Highmark Stadium. Sean Suber with the go-ahead to move them on to the second round.
I know, and here we are, a possible major historic night on the same day as the White Stripes are about to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Potentially, I do say this right now, potentially going on to the Eastern Conference Finals, maybe. We haven't been there before, here in Pittsburgh Riverhounds. But this is one of those games, considering you probably know of the three matchups. We have faced them twice in the regular season and once in the Jägermeister Cup. This is the middle game. When we were on the road in the regular season, we played one of our worst games. One shot in a 2-0 defeat.
Back in June over at Highmark Stadium, June 7th, I believe it was.
Yeah. It kind of worries me.
It does kind of worry you a bit, though, because of the fact that back then when we played them at Highmark Stadium, that was, like I said, definitely not our best performance that night. Going back to that right there. One total shot, none on target. Pittsburgh peppered the net. They started early, they didn't really start early. They got a goal in the 37th minute, and then Robbie Mertz gets one in the 66th minute of play in that match. But Detroit City just couldn't get together that night. And you remember the the epic press conference about what Danny Dicchio said after the match.
Yeah, I remember that we have no patchers in front of the bus. And that was an epic rant, considering it was in the middle of our, summer woe, literally.
And hence, you got people like Devin Kerr calling him out for having no identity. And the problem with Detroit City at that time, they just, they weren't able. I think it was still a hangover from losing in the Open Cup to Chicago, that 4-0 drubbing that they had there. And then
that affected them during the regular season, and even in the Jägermeister Cup against Portland Hearts of Pine.
Yes, that was probably. And speaking of Hearts of Pine, you went to a concert last night, and I guess one of the singers was wearing a Portland Hearts of Pine shirt.
Yeah, well, let me tell you, I went to see the band The Weaker Friends, and I'll give you a plug. This is their brand new CD called Feel Like Hell, their third album, and the lead singer of the band was wearing a Portland Hearts of Pine t-shirt from the video you see right here. You could tell because, their jersey said Maine, and that's one of the big cities in Maine, Portland and Lewiston, Maine, where Ali had the greatest punch ever thrown, or was it? But that was so cool to see. And I did talk to the league a little bit, talking about her representing a League One team, and I'm being a supporter of a championship team. So, and we really mentioned about that game, by the way, where we lost 4-2 during that horrible slump. So it was very cool.
Very cool. Very cool indeed.
And by the way, the reason why they're originally from Portland, you know what I mean?
Makes sense. Makes quite complete sense. But yeah, they're in a. I believe they got one Knoxville tonight in their. No. Spokane Velocity. Spokane Velocity.
Oh yes, in the semifinals.
Yes. Yes.
This is a big deal. You know what I mean?
It's a huge deal in Portland.
Yeah, I know. But let's get back to the.
Let's get back to the other one. Storylines in this one, of course, with Pittsburgh. Defensive home form is their strength. They've only conceded very few first half goals at home this season. Only 4 across the regular season in the playoffs, the best in the league. And that's going to be a very formidable back line that you're going to be dealing with Pittsburgh. And let's go back to their last match against that. And that includes Suber, who got the game winner in the shootout. Vector and Yidrich. That's your back line for them. Not to mention Junior E2, Daniel D. Griffin, Sample, and Biasi in the midfield for them. This is not going to be an easy. This is going to be an easy task. However, we're looking at the fact that this could be one of those games where it could be a knockdown, drag-out, punch-out.
You're right, and given the history between Detroit City and Pittsburgh over the years, so a lot of the games have been drag-out, knockout fights, literally.
Including the one in which Detroit City won in the Jägermeister Cup, which was a 1-0 victory there. The last time these two teams met, it was a 0-0 draw at Keyworth.
I know. So neither team are giving an inch, literally.
Absolutely not. And, you could see this one dragging out to possibly penalty kicks, which we do not like. But, it has that feel to it. However, this is a type of game like last week in Louisville where the smash and grab is in full effect.
Literally, they're playing for their lives, literally, this season. And I got to say, I hope the guys got their mind on right because, like I said, what happened last Saturday, nobody expected it. Neither me, neither you, neither all the experts. USL show, USL All
Red
Access.
did.
Even Make City Make Spence, Channel 451. Nobody.
I told you, Red did.
Even us, we didn't give it a shot.
Red was the only one that had it on cue.
Yeah.
Red was the only one.
I know.
And but you look at it. We'll look at the predictions later on of everybody else because there's a plethora of them.
Well, let me tell you, I hope they celebrate the victory on Sunday, a little hangover on Monday. But now they got back to work on Tuesday saying, all right, we're facing on another tough team who plays tough at home.
They know this. And, judging from the fact that, like I said, they played this team 3 times this year, it's inherent in their brains. This is a team that they could, and I think, honestly, this is a team I think that they can beat in this one. Last week we were saying that Louisville, we couldn't beat, there's no way we could go walk into Lynn Family Stadium and do what we did. But this is a team that could go into Highmark Stadium and do what they did. We see this 2 years ago when Dominic Gasso got the goal to put them ahead late in that match to move them on to the second round.
The Pittsburgh Miracle. That was big. And and like I said, the results after of the net game didn't go our way. It was still a crushing defeat. But this is going to be a little bit different. Very different.
A lot different, as you can say. Going back to the review on the Detroit City side of things, in the upset, Carlos Saldana Carlos Saldana made multiple key saves. Defender Shane Wade logged huge defensive numbers as well, and that's being in the lineup. Basically, I want to say in for Stephen Carroll for
Yeah.
the most part. Carroll has not played in the last few matches, or not started in the last few matches for Detroit City SC. And another thing I've noticed too, Kobe Hernandez Foster has been on the bench for Detroit City and coming in late as well.
You think maybe an injury or so couldn't go the full 90, probably part-time 90?
You never know at this point. I mean, I don't know. You don't know if I don't know if it's he's suffering an injury and all that stuff because how hard it is to disseminate information nowadays. But
Yeah, it's understandable. It's in the CBA because they don't want to give, don't want to say unfair advantage to the other team. Let's say they start or not. Or
and yeah, we're in the playoffs right now, so you ain't gonna divulge everything's a lower body injury in the playoffs. Remember Hockey Logic?
yeah. Considering maybe the bad foot, what you get some Skechers on. I just recently bought a new pair. Thank God. Yeah,
But
but
yeah, like I said, it's a little different. Like I said, a little different mindset there. But those two have been coming in late in the matches and whatnot. The lineup obviously has been a little bit different when you look at it. Jay Chapman's been in the lineup. Jay Chapman got the assist on the Mensa goal the other night, and it's been a little bit different. You see Haruki Yamazaki more in the lineup as well. He's been featured
yeah,
in. He's been featured in there.
He was key last week. He
And of
was
course,
key last week.
yep, Isaiah LaFleur is in the lineup as well. The loanee that we got from Philadelphia Union too.
Mm-hmm.
So that midfield a little bit different, you know, and also the backfield as well. And of course, it's been a solid backfield. They faced a lot of shots on Saturday night against Louisville.
I know. Yeah, considering Louisville was trying to get back in it, they were trying to bait them, try to foul them in the box, but didn't no can do, literally, including the save Sandelia made, which, by the way, when I saw it first, I thought it hit the post, then he swatted away, but actually, it was going in the net. Protection is a little bit different, and he swatted away. Great reaction time. And he had a lot more save, holding on to the ball, hoping to hear those double whistles, you know what I mean? But like I said,
They faced 19 shots last week.
yeah, how
19
many shots
total
we had?
shots.
How
19
many
total.
shots we had?
Yeah, 19 total shots. In fact, that whole second half was pretty much Louisville trying to get back in this thing.
Wow. And the
And
defense holds steady.
yeah, absolutely they did, and it was like I said, a great defensive performance. After delivering the early punch and the early blow, and it was just they played on. I wouldn't say played on their back heels most of the time, but it was one of those matches in which Detroit City had to hang on for dear life, and sure enough, they ended up doing so.
I know. And don't forget, Pittsburgh also have a good goaltender. He was on mostly top of the chart this year.
Eric Dick, he's been let's just say one of those goalkeepers that have been a pain for Detroit City FC in the past years, and
I know.
a talented goalkeeper, and so and as I mentioned, the whole smash and grab thing, because you gotta be able to get this thing via the smash and grab, and I have that gut feeling it's going to end up being one of those games tonight. So another thing
Yeah, the question: who will outwork the other, Dick or Sandella, if he gets the start tonight, like he did
who
last?
or who will outwork the other in general, Pittsburgh or Detroit? When you think about it, I mean, going back to their last matchup at Keyworth Stadium, let's see here, possession pretty much down the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Both had 10 shots.
Mm-hmm.
Both had, I mean, Pittsburgh had 3 on target, Detroit had 2 on target. And
Mm-hmm.
needless to say, other than a couple yellow cards but on the Pittsburgh side of things, it was a pretty clean game. Trying to think who the uh, uh, Abdul Nadai was the referee on that one. Tonight's referee, um, we'll go back. Yeah, we'll go back to that. Tonight's referee for this one is Natalie Simon. So the
Oh.
so depending on how she's going to call this game, if she's going to call it very tight with a lot of you know low tolerance for BS out there,
Mm-hmm.
I would expect something like that. I'm going to go back here. Let's go to the let's go to the games in which what do you call it? These two have met before in this season. We'll go back to the game in Pittsburgh. Let's see who the ref. Mohammed Hassan was the referee in that game, in which Pittsburgh had 3 yellows. Detroit had 2 yellows in that one. Dominic Gasso did play in that game for
Mm-hmm.
um, for Detroit City. And of course that's another player that hasn't been in the lineup. In the 1-0 victory at Keyworth, in which Darren Smith scored in extra time, Matthew Corrigan was the referee on that one. In that game, no cards.
Hmm. Should be interesting.
It's going to be very interesting tonight, as far as you know, what takes place there. Now, like I said, is Natalie going to call a very tight game, or is she going to let things go a little bit and let the physicality dictate the match?
I know. And let's talk about the coaching. I know Danny Dicchio, lucky they got the upset win, but could he? I'm not going to say outcoach. Could he outsmart the interim Pittsburgh coach? What's his name? Do you know?
I'm looking it up as we speak here, but
Because
yeah,
as you know,
of
Bob
course, everybody
Lilly.
knows the story about um, Bob Lilly being out on administrative leave, but his acting head coach,
Okay.
um, yeah, the acting head coach of the team, Rob Vincent, has done a pretty decent job, shall we
Uh huh.
say, for the Hounds. So, needless to say, it's just that it's an admirable job. We'll take a look at ever since Lily got the shall we say administrative leave. I'm trying to think how long ago that was though, but in that couple of wins in there, win over Monterey Bay, win over Indy 11, and of course a couple of draws in there, including the win last week in penalties against Hartford Athletic.
Okay.
So out of their last 5, it is their form right now is 2 draws, a loss, and 2 wins. So Rob Vincent has been doing a pretty decent job over there.
Okay. Hmm.
And
So
yeah, so it's you don't. I mean, you don't really know. And I'm gonna like I said, I really expect the Pittsburgh team to be as defensively stout as Detroit City will be tonight.
oh my, this could go to penalties or don't think about a shootout. Considering the last 2 shootouts we won, one during the Open Cup last year. Carl said Dallas scored the game winner, if you remember.
Hmm.
And then the 2-goal game by the Professor Matt Shelton. By the way, he's on the poster for this game tonight. And remember, they won in penalty kick shootout. We wish it was a regulation win because remember, Hartford Athletic eked out the wild card spot by a goal. Since
Yeah, and of course, and then they end up falling to Pittsburgh last week, as you know.
I know.
But
Well,
as we
they won.
mentioned last week, everybody, except with the exception of Red and Jaime, I think Jaime predicted the shootout. Red was dead nuts on the prediction.
I don't
He
know.
called for the set piece, Detroit wins on the set piece. Sure enough, they get the set piece, the corner kick to generate the goal. So, but this week, however, there's been talk, from what I understand, Michael Bryant putting it out there on Twitter for all those that didn't believe in us. You know, I'm gonna go back and find that tweet real quick here, but yeah, he wasn't too happy with some of the predictors on Saturday night, shall we say.
I know. Well, remember, I said it would be a crushing 3-0 loss to end this woeful season. You know what I mean? And oh my God, you know what I mean? How can we be so wrong? How can we be so wrong? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Considering we all thought Louisville, they
So,
could finish us easily. What the hell happened to Louisville? I know we
well,
don't.
here's the tweet. Here's the tweet that he,
Okay.
and this is from the guys at Make City Makes Sense.
Okay.
Okay, or Michael tweeted, DCFC faithful, 3 clown faces. Shout out to the real fans who believed.
Okay. There must be about more than 3 clown faces. You could have.
There was a lot of people that didn't believe this thing.
You didn't believe it as well too.
Just by the simple fact that Louisville does not lose in the first round.
And they lost in the first round. The last 2 years
This is the first time they did.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't look at it as, okay, I called myself a pundit. You know, I'm still a Detroit City fan, but I'm looking at this game in an objective style.
Me too. Or I'm looking to and just reminder, it's decided on paper. It must be on the pitch, not at the bar. You know what I mean? On the pitch.
Exactly.
Yes. And hey, we're fans
You know,
too.
and I'm not calling out Michael Bryant. Michael had the right to say what he had to say, and he proved them. And kudos to him. They proved us wrong Saturday night.
Yeah.
Happy for it. 100%. Very happy for it.
I'm very happy.
Bring on the smack.
But we're just looking at a, hourglass thing.
We're trying to be objective.
What's going to happen tonight? What's going to happen tonight?
Objective.
Yes.
You know, and we're looking at it from both sides, both sides of the angle. You know, obviously we're looking at a team. Last week we were looking at a team that was breaking records in the regular season. You know, do we call them out for not getting the job done in the playoffs? Absolutely we do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Which brings the big question is, how in the hell Louisville didn't connect last week? All kudos to us for winning the game. How are they going to connect? And I presume this is soul crushing because they were put together a dream season. They lost once in the regular season, lost 2 against us in the playoffs, and you're done. Sit down.
Yeah, the only other losses that they had were to Eintracht Frankfurt in a friendly and Minnesota United in a Open Cup match.
Yeah, but every USL team also got wiped out in the Open Cup, including us, for God's sake. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so you can't really measure those in there. They did not lose, and they lose to but they lose to a team that is going on hiatus.
Are you talking about North Carolina?
Yes.
Oh my.
They lose to a team that is going on hiatus. That's the only loss they had this year. Of course, a lot of people are going to look at that game, in an objective fashion. Is like Detroit City backing into the playoffs, Louisville City steamrolling through the rest of the USL. How else are you going to look at it that way? I looked at it that way.
Unbelievable.
But you know what? Definitely kudos to them. Greatest upset in USL Championship history last week.
And it happened twice in a lifetime. Last 2023 Pittsburgh. Yep. 2025.
If any club's going to do it, it's Detroit City FC.
I know. Before we get to our prediction, our big major miracle prediction, and I'm going to put it for both teams. If you're Pittsburgh and Detroit, Who would you like in the other semifinal? North Carolina FC or
Rhode Island?
Rhode Island? Who would you like to face? The better matchup if you make it this far.
I predicted Rhode Island would dispose of North Carolina FC. As I think I did predict that during the our taping of the musings this week.
Yeah.
I did predict Rhode Island would move on, and it would be a match between Detroit City and Rhode Island for the. It would be Detroit City might face Rhode Island. I haven't given my prediction yet. Scratch that. Anyway, no, I predicted that Rhode Island could probably come away with this one, and because I know the supporters are not gonna. I don't think the supporters are gonna give two shits about tonight. They're and just in protest of Malik taking away their team.
After being stabbed in the back, saying, "Well, we're waiting for 2026," and then it said, "Wait, what are you doing 2028 because you want to be in League One?" Which, by the way, I must say,
Division
no
One.
guarantee to be in League One. I saw the render tree, which was on the same day as they announced that they are withdrawing from USC, but
yeah,
maybe a possibility this could be the last and North Carolina FC or Carolina Riverhounds game ever. And I think the fans have every right to be angry
allegedly. For 2 years, allegedly.
Stab in the back. It's worse than the Minnesota North Stars fans being stabbed in the back of Norm Green, moving them to Dallas. Remember him?
Or even the Cleveland Browns and
Art
Modell stabbing Cleveland fans in the back, moving them to Baltimore. And then guess what happens a couple years later? They win a Super Bowl.
Oh, brother.
Yeah.
And 4 years later, the Dallas Stars won the Stanley Cup on a controversial goal. And believe it or not, to the main figure of that game, won a Stanley Cup for the Red Wings. Hello.
So, basically, across the board, you had let's go all across the board as far as the predictions go. Okay. USL show. John Morrissey, Kaylor Hodges, Alex Ashton, Phil Bakke, all predict Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Jonathan Starling and Carrick Krishnaier from Beyond the 90. They picked Detroit City.
Oh.
So, all right, going to start off with the guys from the Majors Detroit picks. Start off with the Make City Make Spence crew.
Okay.
Sean, Adam predicted Detroit City victory. I believe Garrett predicted penalty kicks for Detroit City FC. And then we come to the Tunnel Talk crew at Channel 451. Alan, Red, Jam, and Jaime all predicted Detroit City. The only one to predict Pittsburgh?
Who?
Dennis.
Oh, okay.
And he wasn't on the episode this week, but he made his prediction anyway. So those are the predictions from all across the board. How do we see it tonight? We gave our predictions of the other matches, obviously, on the musings earlier this week. So we saved it for this. How do you see it?
According to Steve-O in my crystal ball, I'm going to say Detroit City win it in extra time, 2-1.
2-1 in extra time. Not going to penalties, eh?
No, I think they're going to throw everything off the kitchen table, especially in the second half. Remember, we didn't record a shot last week against Louisville in the second half. It was all Louisville. But like I said, it's go time tonight.
This thing's going to drag out probably for about 70 or 80 minutes as a scoreless draw. I see the smash and grab happening.
Okay.
And it ain't going to happen with Pittsburgh.
No.
It's not going to happen with Pittsburgh. They're all in their black and gold out, whatever it is, yellow out, whatever it is. They're going to be waving their fake terrible towels tonight. We got some
By the
people.
way, the original terrible towels are with the Steelers, for God's sake. Come on.
That's why I
And then
said
my girlfriend came
Pittsburgh's
along.
going to be waving fake terrible
Right.
towels.
Yeah.
The Riverhounds are.
Yeah.
They're going to be waving their terrible towels, playing their piped-in music and whatnot. And Detroit's going to come in with another smash and grab victory. One of the defenders is probably going to do it. Whether it be Michael Bryant would be a good person to do the smash and grab.
Oh, yeah. And by the way, don't be surprised if we say his name and he may score. Gee.
Are you predicting that's going to be? Are you predicting that's going to be the guy that's going to score the game winner?
Could be. Could be. I haven't done that in about a month because after that 3-goal start.
Juve and Darren Smith have both been silent. It'd be nice to see them on the board tonight, but I don't see that happening because this is going to be a knockdown, drag-out affair. 1-0 late, Detroit City in a smash and grab.
Okay.
That's how I'm seeing it. So,
and then
we can see this as opposed to one outlet this week. We got 3 outlets to see this game this week.
Yes, the gang is all back. You can see the game 7:30. It's live on CW Detroit 50. Neil Rule will be on the call. The game is also on ESPN Plus. Also, it's on Sirius XM and on Sirius XM
Newer models channel XM 390 for those in the car. But yes, on the Sirius XM app as well. Just search Detroit City Pittsburgh, or just search Detroit City. Just search USL. You'll find the game there tonight. Lots of stuff going on 157. Obviously with the MLS playoffs tonight. By the way,
we're being bumped for the MLS playoffs. Oh my!
By the way. I think we're on the anti-Miami bandwagon as usual. Go Nashville. God. It pains me to say that. Rooting from a team from Tennessee. Gross.
Well, let me tell you, like I said,
I just don't want Messi I just don't want Messi to win a trophy. That's
well, you probably know he is resigned to Miami until 2028.
Yeah, I know, and I think there's been talks of him, which we'll talk about Wednesday. I think there's talks about him possibly taking a few, being transferred for like 4 months or something like that, or whatever. I heard a rumor about that. We'll talk about that Wednesday on the Musings.
Let me tell you, this is an very important tonight because our hometown team is in the semifinals. I may have to go to the KT Center, which is not far from the city clubhouse. Give a prayer to Potter KT to hope City win tonight. I did that last week.
Divine intervention. Those 29 sailors too that perished.
28 sailors on the end of the The 50th anniversary is on Monday.
Yes,
by the way, did I mention the White Stripes are going to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame tonight?
You did.
Big question. Will Max show up? Please, Max. I hope you're down there. If not, I understand. But please be there. Take your honors, or I don't know.
I'm sure it's going to be recorded on the on Disney Plus. I think Disney Plus has
it's going to be on Disney Plus. That's the best way to see it. They're going to re-air on ABC, but we'll cut down to 1 hour. But watch it on Disney
because television.
Well,
live unadulterated soccer tonight for all you sickos out there. Make sure you watch that game on Channel 50 locally or on CBSDetroit.com.
Matt Cat, I'm excited for tonight.
So am I. All right. This is going to be a good one.
I'll meet you at the club up for after hours tonight.
Absolutely. We'll be there as we get ready for a big matchup. Detroit City FC taking on Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Should be a good one, folks. For Steve in the humble abode of Hamtramck.
Stay safe, everybody. Be kind to your neighbor, and go City. And go Lions tomorrow.
All right. We'll see you after hours. Until then, folks, keep your feet on the ground. Keep reaching for the galaxy.